if else statement. Now this takes care of true as well as false conditions. Like in the simple if statement, we had seen that if the condition is true, it executes a set of statements, and if it is false, it simply ignores the set of statements and jumps after the if block. But here this contains two blocks, one is for the true condition and the other for the false. So the first block is executed when the condition is true, and the second block is executed when the condition is false. So it handles both the situations of the condition, when it is true as well as false. And here there is another keyword called else, which cannot be used without an if. So this else is a property of the if construct. If this condition is true, then you have the subblock, else you have another subblock. So if the condition is true, the compiler executes the block following the if, and if the condition is false, the compiler executes the block following else. So else is a unique property of this if construct, which can be used with an if. A single if can have a single else. You cannot have 2 or 3 else conditions for a single if condition. So that is the final condition. No multiple else statements are allowed with one if statement. Now we will see the syntax of this if statement, which will make you understand these rules better. This is the syntax of the if else construct. We have the if the expression is true, then execute these set of statements. You see here that there is more than one statement in the if subblock, so it is enclosed within the opening and the closing brace. Now here there is another subblock which states that else statements 1 and 2. So this is for the condition when the evaluating expression turns false. So this is the difference between the if and the if else construct. You have an option to execute another set of statements when the condition is false. So this is also enclosed between the opening and the closing brace. Now let us see an example program of how the if else construct is used. You have the header files and you have the main function, the starting point of any program. You have the opening brace, and this is called the variable declaration. That is, there are two variables s and d of the type integer. This is a library function which clears the screen. Now the aim of the program is to determine the squares of numbers whose least significant digit is 5. So here is where the actual logic of the program starts. We are printf enter the number. So printf is nothing but to display some output on the screen. So if you see, I have given the output in commented lines. Every printf should be followed by a scanf statement which allows the user to give the input and the system to accept the input. So this is how the output will be: enter the number, and I have given an example of 205. So here if you see, the least significant digit is 5. So how does the compiler know that the least significant digit is 5? We have to give the method of how the system should compute whether the least significant digit is 5. So here I am dividing that variable s by a modulo division with 10. We know that modulo division returns the remainder. So when 205 is divided by 10, it will return the remainder 5. So from that the system can find out that its least significant digit is 5. That 5 is assigned to the variable d. Now that is what I have indicated over here. D is 205 divided by 10, which is equal to 5. Next, here we are using the if statement. If d is equal to 5, that is the symbol for evaluating an expression's equality. So d is nothing but 5, and if that is 5, it indicates that the number's least significant digit is 5. So according to the aim of the program, if any number's LSD is 5, we have to compute and print its square. So next I open the subblock of if, I perform the operation of finding the power or the square, which is nothing but 25 into 25 625. The number is actually 205. So here, just for an example, I have given 25. Here the number is 205. So you have to do 205 into 205 and give its result. So after I find the square, I print the value. Now this occurs when d is equal to 5. So if d is not equal to 5, that means the number's LCD is not 5, then in that case I print invalid number. So this is just an example program for you to know how we use the if and else construct. So this kind of constructs can be applied to other applications as well.